So in case you guys missed the news, cold pitching is over. This is dead in 2024. It's not working. Cold pitching is icky, it's gross, and all of those emails you've been sending have been going to the trash folder. I'm kidding. I'm making a joke. Did I give anyone a bit of a heart attack there? Regular watchers of my YouTube channel, or listeners to the podcast will know that I am the biggest fan of cold pitching. And today I wanted to tackle this issue head on, the misconceptions around cold pitching, what people are getting wrong with their cold pitches, and how you can actually make this work for you and your business. Because the truth is, it doesn't have to be this icky, gross thing. It can actually be a huge asset for you and your business. When it's done right, both you and the potential client are happy people. A big part of the inspiration behind today's video is I feel like I've been getting hounded on Instagram DMs recently with bad cold pitches. And this is where I can understand that cold pitching gets such a bad rap. When I get messages that are from some marketing bro who's like, yo, Ellen, have you been booking clients for your agency recently? Or, hi, Ellen, I see you have an established coaching business. Have you ever thought of adding an email sequence? These kind of pitches are infuriating me. They are driving me crazy. And as someone who teaches cold pitching in my program, the Dishing Up Digital School, I really think it's a great strategy to be using. But these people are doing a disservice. They are ruining the reputation of cold pitching, and they're not going to get a response from me. I've talked a lot about my personal journey of growing my social media management agency and how cold pitching played a very important part of that. For me, in those early days, I had no reputation, I had no experience, and I had to find a way to get in front of business owners with my packages and with my services. I know, hand on heart, if I had not done that, if I hadn't been bold with my cold pitching, I wouldn't be where I am today. And the reason I get my students to follow this same strategy is because I want you building fast momentum in your business. Instead of hopping on Instagram and putting up a couple of reels and crossing your fingers hoping a client will fall out of the sky, instead you're being proactive and going after those dream clients, getting in front of them with your services. This was exactly how I was able to book all of my first clients and scale my side hustle enough to leave my full-time job. However, one of the criticisms I often get from students is, Ellen, that doesn't work in 2024. Like, that was you when you started your side hustle. Like, the industry's changed. And it is true, the industry has changed. There's a lot more competition now, and it is a little bit more difficult to stand out from the crowd. But those foundational pitching skills are still just as useful and effective. And I know this because I am still proactively pitching for sponsorship deals and have secured multiple four-figure sponsorship deals through cold pitching. And as a business owner, I have hired someone who sent me a cold pitch this year. So I felt like I had to just get that off my chest to begin with and show you that despite what all of the gurus might be saying, those clickbaity TikToks around cold pitching is dead, here's what you need to do instead, it does still work when you are using the right techniques. And we're going to unpack those today, and I'm going to share with you why the cold pitch I got recently was successful. The first thing to know about cold pitching, it needs to be personalized. So often I get a message in my DMs and they've either just copied and pasted my entire username on Instagram, which is like Ellen, social media manager, coach, author, blah, 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 whatever. And I know that it's just a copy and paste formula that they send to everyone. Or they just don't use my name, which I think is just such a cop out, because I'm literally like, it's my photos there, my name's right there on Instagram. If they email me, my email address has my name in it. So there really are no excuses here. But if someone emails me and they haven't personalized it, they haven't acknowledged that they've looked at my business. For example, the people that go, do you have an email sequence? It would take them literally 2 minutes to go onto my website and see that I have an email sequence, that I have a lead magnet that has an automated email sequence. It'd be very easy for them to find out. So when I get a message like that, that's not personalized, that shows that they've not put no effort into checking out my business, it immediately goes in the trash. And this is a good thing, because those of you that approach pitching from a more genuine place and craft personalized pitches, you're immediately going to stand out from the crowd. I hate this attitude of spray and pray, where you're sending out 1,000 cold pitches that you've just copied and pasted. And this is exactly why in the Dishing Up Digital School, my program for social media managers, I actually don't give my students templates. It's the one thing that I don't give out templates for, is the pitching. I show them heaps of examples. I give them my little formula and my structure. I show them what not to do and what to do. And then of course we have our student community where I can come and audit their pitches and give them feedback. But the reason I don't give templates is because I think it creates a bad habit for people, and they start over relying on templates and all of their pitches look the same, and that's when they get in the trash folder. The second thing that I think really works in your cold pitch is creating some space to showcase what you do. Often I'll say to people that they should include some kind of mini audit, because this shows, what you're capable of or what you can do for this particular client, and also adds to that personalization factor. You have looked at their website or their product or their service, but also take a moment to really spell out what it is that you offer. And again, this could be in a little bullet point list, this could be attached in a services guide, but I really hate it when a copywriter reaches out to me and they're like, hey, do you want me to help you 10 times your conversions on your website? And this is just such a common approach, because again, a lot of people teach that, hey, if you want to send a cold pitch, make sure you pack it with like social proof and tell them the transformation and blah, blah, blah. And that is true to an extent. But I also just want to know exactly what your services are. Like, I hate that scammy, let me 10 times your business, let me 10 times your conversion rate. I just want to know what it is that you offer. And this is where I want to bring in an example pitch that worked and ended up converting on me. This came from a copywriter called Nicola. Nicola and I had previously connected really briefly in a Facebook group because we were in a membership group and we were both just members in that group. So I kind of, knew of her name. And again, this is why part of your cold pitching process should also be networking and joining groups like this. But she came in with her cold pitch with a very specific offer. She was like, hey, I'm a copywriter and this is my student success engine. And she didn't just say student success engine because that's a bit of jargon, right? It's a jazzy title that sounds really cool. She actually went through and bullet pointed what was in this service, what it did, and how it could help my program. She'd also taken the time to actually look at what that program was. So she was selling me this service and she was like, hey, I really think this could help with the Dishing Up Digital School and the way that you serve social media managers. So immediately there was a little bit of a personal connection, but she also personalized the email and she did a really good job just simply laying out her services and what it is that she offers. This is the exact same approach that I use to cold pitch. You want to be to the point. You don't want it to be too long and be an essay for someone to read, but you also want to showcase your talents and your skills. The other thing I really liked that Nicola did was she put a little PS on the end of her email, and that is where she popped in a little bit of social proof. I think it was something along the lines of, I helped a client increase their conversion rate by 30%. And I liked that was just a little finisher, the little last line there. And the other thing that Nicola did was she followed up with me. This is a really effective way to reconnect with a business owner who potentially your email just hit them at a busy time. And that is the thing with cold pitching. You do have to get a little bit lucky where you land in the right inbox at the right time. And for Nicola, the first time the email came through, I was really busy. I was having a stressful week. So for me, I saw that and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't deal with this. And I just left it on red, which in hindsight, I could have saved myself some time because I ended up signing up to work with her. But there is also this icky approach to cold pitching in the industry where people hound you with follow-ups, again and again and again, and it's relentless. And often the follow-ups start after just 2 days of sending the original email. For me, my best practice is to wait 7 days and do a follow-up, and then another 7 days and do a follow-up. So an original email and 2 follow-ups. And again, this might just be a timing issue with the person that you've reached out to. Maybe they're not having a great week. Maybe they just haven't had time to read your email. So it is a great idea to follow up with them. However, I get so annoyed when people follow up with me so aggressively, especially last year. I felt like I got a lot around Black Friday, and I even emailed back to someone and I was like, excuse me, but you emailed me 3 days ago and it's Black Friday week, which is arguably the busiest time of year for a social media manager. You should give people more time to reply to your emails. And hey, maybe I would have ended up hiring that person, but I didn't because of that aggressive nature in their follow-up. It was just a massive turn off for me. And again, if I were to come back to this example of the one cold pitch that I have said yes to, what got me with Nicola is that I didn't know this was actually a service that she offered. Again, we were connected with each other. We did already follow each other. And it's really funny because I never would have hired her if she hadn't sent me that cold email. And I think that's a really good reminder for everybody listening today. You never know what potential dream clients are out there who are just so aligned with your vision, who are so keen and excited to hire you, but they just don't know about your offer, right? And again, they could be someone that follows you. And with algorithms and organic content, no one is ever guaranteed to see your service posts or whatever you're posting on Instagram advertising your services. And to be honest, posts that are very sales heavy are the ones that are going to get a lower amount of reach, which means that dream client who might need your services just may not even see it. And that is what really brings me back to the overall message that I wanted to get across to you today. Cold pitching does work, that it's not icky, that it's not gross, that it's an invitation to work together. An invitation. That's really how I want you to reframe it in your head and just start thinking of it differently, because when you do that, you gain a lot more confidence in cold pitching. You're going to start sending more, and cold pitching is a little bit of a numbers game. It is a case of sometimes you've got to send 50 emails to get that one conversion. I was chatting to another business owner in my mastermind recently. They had the same thing for pitching for sponsorships for an in-person event. They said they sent out 100 emails, like specialized, high value, good quality pitches to brands about sponsorships, and they only had 5 come back and lock in and say yes. However, those were 5 aligned, perfect dream sponsorships. So just think about the opportunities that are out there waiting for you on the other side of getting past all these mindset blocks and all of these misconceptions that you have around cold pitching. I highly encourage you to give it a go, because it's changed not just my business, but also dozens of my students. If you have enjoyed this discussion on cold pitching and enjoyed this episode, I invite you to subscribe to the Dishing Up Digital podcast for more. And I also have a waitlist linked down below if you are interested in signing up to the Dishing Up Digital School once the program relaunches in just a few weeks' time. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll catch you in the next episode.